guys, what is up? It's your boy Bassandfurious here with Tommy from 540 Fishing in the building, guys. Make sure you tune in. We're gonna try to get as much content out to you guys to help you guys catch some more of these giant fish.
Who's got next?
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode here of Bassandfurious TV. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, I would definitely recommend doing that. I'm about to bring you some collab content, working with some other creators to put together some videos that hopefully give you some helpful fishing tips to help you catch more and more fish. Today's video, it's going to be me. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about some late fall, early winter fishing tips that I got for you. And I'm then going to be switching it over to 540 Fishing, Tommy Tackle. He's going to be in the building. He's going to be sharing some tips as well to help you catch some of these bass. And with the 540 Fishing lineup, he's going to be sharing some baits with you that can, he has specifically, that can help you catch some fish. And then you can get these baits right on the site there for 540 Fishing. So we're going to work together on this one. Hopefully we'll give you guys some good tips that will help you catch some giant bass. Now, to get right into it, guys, we're talking late fall, early winter fishing tips. To try not to just give you a bunch of information that you can catch on any video out there. I want to try to give you something that's a little bit more personalized that can help you. So I'll try to go in order. Starting now. Number one, my biggest thing for this time of year is to pay attention to the conditions. So water clarity, water temperature, things like that are going to be huge this time of year, because unlike other times of year, this is going to fluctuate. When you're in summer, you're in summer. Typically you don't get like snow in summer, right? When you're in spring, I guess it depends. Today's weather, you can pretty much get anything any time of year. But in this time of year, summer, spring, you know, you can kind of anticipate certain things. In the fall, late winter, sometimes it'll be 75 on Tuesday and it'll be 29 on Tuesday night. So the range is so drastic, and that plays a huge role in whether or not you're going to catch giant bass or not. So one of the things I recommend is when you get to the water, check the water temp. Use your bait to help you check the water temp, or dip your hand in the water, see how cold or warm or whatever it is. That way you can kind of dig in with whether you need to slow down and methodically work your baits, or if you could just burn a chatterbait all around because you got pretty decent temps. So check the water temps. And again, I want to preface the video by saying I'm in Virginia. I'm on the East Coast fishing. So if you fish in the East Coast, some of these tips may be helpful to you, depending on what part of the East Coast you're in. Sometimes, right now it's freezing and some people have ice right now. Some people have 70s still. They're just chilling and out there wearing shorts and stuff. Other temp, like our area that I'm specifically in, the high is supposed to be 50. The low last night was like 32. So this is what I'm talking about. But I just caught a bass yesterday, right? And the bass was in 2 feet of water up on the bank. So it's really like, just label this time of year just random. So one day you may go out and catch them on a chatterbait. The next day you may have to throw a 2-inch minnow on a tiny 1/16 ounce jig head and work it slow at the. So that brings us to my next point, is the bait selection. That's going to be huge. You want to make sure that you choose the right bait for the area that you're at, the water clarity that you're at, the water temp that you're at. One of the ones I recommend greatly myself that I have tied on throughout the year, honestly, but this time of year is really big, is a jig. I usually downsize like a 5/16 ounce jig. That's usually one of my go-tos, a type finesse jig, 3/8 ounce, like finesse jig, something I can crawl on the bottom, maybe even a football jig, something like this, something that you can just crawl, barely move around, to kind of see. And I'm in particular, we're talking about late fall, early winter. This is mainly pond fishing type tips, but it can relate to other areas as well. Because the same things apply. You want to cover water. You want to make sure you choose the proper bait. I like this time of year to have my green pumpkins, my oranges, things like that for my bait. That's what I like to have. But one particular bait I'm going to have tied on is a jig. And then I bring, of course, a box. I got, of course, a tackle box here with a couple of suggestions. Another one that I really like to throw this time of year is a swim bait style, tiny little Kitech 3-point something type of style. Just slowly, you can crawl it on the bottom, you can burn it a little bit. Just depends till you find the right way that the fish want to eat it. The other one is a Ned rig. That's another one. If you're pond fishing, I recommend some type of weedless Ned rig so you don't get hung up and lose it and then your day's over type of stuff. But some type of Ned rig, and then insert your favorite color based on type of water that you're at. So green pumpkin, orange, purple, red, black, crawl colors. Mix up your colors like that. The other one that's going to be big is a shaky head. Something, again, that you could just drag. The key of the shaky head though is figuring out what type of movement they want on the worm on your shaky head. So,
oh, say less.
a lot of times I've been catching them all year long with like a ribbon style, which look like fluttering. I've been catching them with like a finesse worm type of deal, where it's just a little tail that maybe hovers up in the air. 540 fishing, Tommy Tackle is going to tell you a little later. He's got some baits like that that'll work really great for that. But you want to figure out what style they want. Do they want some movement still based on the water temp and the clarity, or do they want no movement? They just want just to hop, let it sit, you know, slowly hop, and just kind of faintly wiggle in the air type of stuff. So you just basically got to figure that out. Once you figure it out, then you can cover water and continue to catch the fish. So those are going to be some of my key things. Also, too, the later it gets in the year, the closer to winter, bundling up, making sure you got the proper protection on. That way you're not spending your time with medicine and laying down and resting versus the rest of us out casting and fishing, because you got to take care of your body as well this time of year. That's one of the key things you'll get, because you'll want to keep fishing, keep casting, but it's 39 degrees and now your fingers are, and it gets, you know, I'm just saying, just from a personal standpoint of seeing certain things, you want to take care of yourself. Okay, it's very important to catch a fish. It's also very important to take care of yourself. You can go with the philosophy of like, I don't care, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. That's fine. I'll be fishing next week while you'll be laying down.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No. Okay, so just take care of yourself, and that way you can fish a little bit more. Just makes sense to me, but I get it. Some people just, and trust me, I've done it. I've gone out and I've fished for hours in 33-degree weather, and I then missed like the next 3 days of fishing because I can't feel my hands. Now things are not going my way, and now I got to take a break, and I just don't want to see that happen to you guys. So take care of yourself. That way you can just keep on fishing, cover water, and honestly understand that some days you may not catch anything. If you may not. I mean, it is what it is. So you might want to bring, I don't know if you guys noticed it when I held my tackle box up, you might want to bring some other stuff as well to start catching some crappie or some perch, or if you want to catch something that day. If you're not gonna get these bass bites, maybe, you know, y'all know I never recommend that, but I am gonna recommend that because I want to see y'all catch something.
Oh, say less.
So hopefully these tips helped. Try to cover as much things as I can. Cover some water, bait selection, find out your variables. That's going to be key. Getting that water temp, that water clarity. That way you know what to do and how to present your baits effectively so you can catch some fish. So now we're going to go check out what 540 Fishing Tommy Tackle has to say. I don't know where he's going to be at. I don't know what he's going to be talking about, but I know he's going to share some juice. I've seen this dude personally catch some fish. He literally, I went fishing one day. He came up there. He said, Ty, there's a log right there. And I said, yeah, I know, I saw it, right? I saw the log. He's like, you ain't catch nothing off it? I was like, nah, I really didn't fish the log like that. I wasn't trying to fish the log. I was on my way to the bank to come say hey to him. He pitches his bait out there. Oh, got one, Ty. I said, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've personally seen this dude catching them when I go out fishing. He does catch fish, and he knows how to catch fish. And he's going to share some tips with you guys. Be sure to give his channel a sub. Like his videos as well, because he's definitely working on some stuff. He's got a great business that he's running out here for us anglers, 540 Fishing. Check it out. Some really great baits on his site, crankbaits, soft plastics, things like that. And he's got some great partners as well that he works with. So 540 Fishing, Tommy, take it away, man. He's going to talk to us about some great stuff, help y'all catch some of these fish this year. So let's go.
What's up, 540 Fishing? It is cold. I mean, 37 degrees, winter cold. We stopped here, little spot, it's in the sun, but today we're going to show you how we like to fish in the wintertime for cold water bass. I guess that's what you'd say. It's so cold that I'm not speaking the way that I like to speak. That's how you know it's cold. These three things that I do that make my fishing in the wintertime, no matter how cold, successful. The first thing and most important is know your style. A lot of people want to tell you that the fish are only going to be at the bottom. That's only where you're going to catch fish, and that's totally not true, even though it's cold. All right. One of the things I like to use is a jig. I tend to pair the jig up with one of the 540 Fishing trailers. I also like to use what I call the sonar minnow. We have a great sonar minnow developed in partnership with Bassandfurious. So myself and Ty, we put together a really great concept to get you guys a great lure that would show up on down image and forward facing sonar very well. I also like to use the sonar minnow when it comes to utilizing drop shot, shaky head, anything like that. I'll put a description down below. You guys are going to love that. And last but not least, cranking. I love the cold water crank. I've caught a lot of my biggest fish cold water cranking. Nevertheless, stay tuned. We'll show you how, we'll show you how we do these techniques. Again, forgive me because I'm extremely cold. I know I'm talking really fast, and my words are even coming out jumbled up. That's like a rewind, jumbled up. Give you an example. Nevertheless, 540 fishing. Who's got next? Check out the video. Favorite way to fish this thing, even when it's when fish are spawning, is utilizing a crankbait. This is 540 fishing, boogie woogie, in that cur lake color, my favorite. I use it no matter where I go, but it was originally designed for cur lake. I'm fishing this again on 12 to 14 pound mono, sometimes fluorocarbon, depending on where I'm fishing. The second way that I like to fish for cold winter bass is using a sonar minnow. This lure was developed by myself and Ty, Bassandfurious, as a collaboration. We wanted something that could really be picked up on forward-facing sonar or down imaging. I fish this on anywhere from 12 to 15 pound test fluorocarbon. I'm using a 3/8 ounce sinker. I have a bobber stop, approximately about 12 to 14 inches is what I like. And I will fish this the same way I would any other, I guess you would say, minnow style bait. What I also like when I'm using it with that 3/8 ounce sinker, I can also treat it like a Texas rig, or treat it kind of like I would a jig, just a different profile. For the bass to look at. I can also kind of swim this thing, right? But if I were using this to fish a brush pile, what I'd actually do, I'd cast it or flick it over to the brush pile. And what this thing does, it glides down. It pendulums very well. It's got micro action to it. And what I mean by that is it quivers just a little bit. Not too much movement for the cold water, okay? But again, this is the 540 fishing sonar minnow. It's awesome, dude. I like to fish a jig in the wintertime. On the back of the jig, I have a 540 fishing Tommy knocker, my favorite lure. It's great for skipping and for wintertime fishing because it doesn't have a lot of movement, but just enough. I'm fishing on 15 pound fluorocarbon. I'm using a 7.3 medium heavy fast action Vendetta by Albert Garcia. Of course, you can use what makes you feel comfortable. This is just the setup that I choose to use. All right, so what we have here, we have this bank. And one of the things I want to share with you, bank fishermen or boat fishermen, is what you see here on the bank. A lot of times you also have that in the water. If it's not in the water, it's good to fish in front of things like that because fish will tend to go down, okay? Or rise up depending what, on their mood or if they're looking for forward. So all I'm going to do is cast up. I'm going to cast up on the shallow side first, or the shallow end. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag the jig back, okay? I might vary my speed of retrieve, but I'm just going to bring my jig back. Just simply like that. Just going to bring it back. Okay? I might give it a pause, wait a second, then give it a quick pop, and then bring the jig back. And all I want to do is make sure I have contact with the bottom. When I don't have the contact with the bottom, the only time I should say is when I'm going to give it a quick pop. Just a quick pop. Then I'm going to just bring the jig back. And that's how I like to fish a jig in the wintertime. All right, well, 540 fishing. Tommy Tackle, who's got next? Hey, Ty, thanks for inviting me out on your show. I really appreciate you. I look forward to more collaborations with you. Who's got next?
All right, guys. So hopefully in what is a series to come where we're going to share with you guys these tips for catching these fish. Hopefully this video helped you. Be sure, I did put the links in the description, guys, so you can take a look at the 540 baits, in particular the crankbait that he mentioned, the sonar minnow, the jig with the trailer, that trailer. All those things are available online, so take a look at the description and check those out, guys. But I hope these tips are helpful. Hopefully it helps you land a few more fish. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell. Make sure that you can catch the rest of these videos that come up. But huge shouts out to Tommy Tackle. I appreciate you jumping in on the video, man. Thank you so much for sharing the tips, guys. As always, it's been another episode of Bassandfurious TV. Yours truly. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace, peace. I'm out.